In this video, I'm going to be talking about my top 3 favorite melee arcanes. Now, everybody has their own idea of what the best melee arcane is, and that's because they're all solely dependent on builds. That's why the 3 I'm going to mention in this video are ones that you could relatively use on any build, general use arcanes. So these arcanes are not the easiest to get, but they'll definitely help out when you get them. So let's start off with Melee Afflictions. Melee Afflictions is an arcane that works best if you can easily knock down enemies, but enemies affected by stats effects gain 6 additional stacks when they're knocked down or flanked by melee attacks. So if you can knock down or fling enemies, then this is perfect for you. Now, this one I use on my Harmony, even though my Harmony build is absolutely horrendous dog shit. And the reason I use it on my Harmony build, despite the horrible build that I haven't touched on, is because heavy attacks condense all stats effects that deal damage over time into a single instance. Heavy attacks kills activate harmonic resonance, buff that increases status duration by 30% for allies. So essentially, if you do damage over time, like heat, viral, and all those other damages, harmonic resonance will activate, and on the heavy attack, they'll all condense into one singular point of damage, and it'll just deal an insane amount of damage at that time. So using melee afflictions, there's no reason not to, because you gain 6 additional stacks when they're knocked down or flung. So honestly, it's the only thing that really makes sense to me. Despite the build being horrible, you still do a decent amount of damage with this because of harmonic resonance and melee afflictions. So with that being said, that's why I use melee afflictions on the Harmony build, and why I believe it gets its number 3rd spot. Now, moving on to number 2, it's quite simple. Melee duplicate is just fantastic. Once you get it to rank 5, even though it's a platinum one and it'll take forever if you don't want to waste like 400 plat for somebody to scam you out of it, on base critical hits, you have a 100% chance for your attack to strike a second time. So with it as it is at rank 1 right now, I only have a 40% chance, but what that means is that I can just hit somebody, and on a base critical hit, there's a chance I might attack twice. If this was at rank 5, it'd be much better, but if you have a build that does just insane amounts of damage and critical damage, you'll just be raking in all that damage. There's nothing else to really talk about when it comes to melee duplicate because it's pretty cut and dry. It just doubles your melee attacks. There's nothing else to really talk about with it. And now, time for my all-time favorite melee arcane, and it goes great on the Praetos, Melee Kareen. Melee Kareen, you don't even need it at rank 5. You can have it at any rank and it's perfect. So, at rank 5 though, 2.5 times melee damage against frozen enemies. That is great on Warframes like Frost, who obviously deal more damage against frozen enemies. On roll, freeze enemies in a 5.5 meter radius with a 2% cooldown. Right now I only have a 4 meter radius, but a 5.5 would be fantastic. That's the only reason you'd want to rank up, is to increase that radius, unless you are really trying to get that melee damage. Now the reason you want to be able to freeze enemies is just because it's fun. Freezing enemies is amazing. It gives you a lot more opportunities to do just about anything. So you waddle out here, you freeze the enemy with a roll, and now they have 7 stacks of frost on them, and they can't do jack shit. And you could just do that the entire time. It has a 2-second cooldown, but that's not really a big deal. That's nothing. Using Melee Kareen, the highest amount of frost aspects they can have on them is 10. They won't be able to go higher than 10. You just don't have enough time in between your rolls to get higher than 10. But regardless, I feel Melee Kareen is absolutely fantastic because it does a little bit of crowd control for you, and it just makes for pretty fun and less intense gameplay. So with that being said, that's pretty much just about it. If you have certain arcanes that you feel are absolutely the best, better than Melee, Afflictions, Kareen, or Duplicate, then please let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear about them. And that's pretty much just about it. Until next time.
Subscribe to Sleepy Soul.